This is my level 2 video, and I will be doing it in a Vinyasa flow style class. Come join me at the top of your mat in Tadasana. Feet hip width distance apart and parallel, hands by your side. Press down through the four corners of your feet. Lift your inner arches as you hug your outer ankles in. Send your inner thighs back as you lengthen your tailbone down. Soften your front ribs in as you broaden through your collarbone. Lift through the four sides of your neck. Lift your chin as you lengthen through the back of your neck. Root down through your feet as you lift through the top of your head. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, engage your core, forward fold. Inhale, long spine, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, keeping your collarbones broad. Inhale, press through your hands, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a moment to check our foundation. Your feet should be hip width distance apart and parallel, just like we were at the beginning of class. Make sure that your heels are disappearing behind your ankles. Bend your knees as you lengthen your tailbone up and then begin to straighten your legs. Press through the inside of your hands as you wrap your outer upper arms in. Press into your hands as you reach your tailbone towards the sky. It's okay if your heels don't touch. You're still a good yogi. Continue your inhales and your exhales. Lengthening them. Trying to match the length of your inhale to the length of your exhale. On your next exhale, hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift with a long spine. Exhale, forward fold, let it all go. Inhale, soft knees as you rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead, root through your feet. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Inhale with a long spine and neck, halfway lift. Exhale, shine your collarbones forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, over your toes to downward facing dog. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. Press evenly through your hands and your feet. Go ahead and relax your neck, shake it out a little bit. Yes and a no, always ending on a yes to yourself. Push into your hands as you lengthen your tailbone towards the sky, or towards the back of your mat. On your next exhale, step, hop, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press down through your feet as you rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that one more time to our own breath. Feel free to follow along with me or take it at your own pace. Inhale, arms up, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a long spine. Exhale, chaturanga, halfway or less. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keeping your hips even, lift your left heel towards the sky. Bend your left knee as you bring it in towards your chest, and step your left foot between your hands. Pivot your back foot to a 45-degree angle, lining your front heel up with the inner arch of your back leg. Keep your knee over your ankle and bend your knee to a square as you engage your core and rise up to warrior 2. Reach through your fingertips, extending your hands long. Take a look to make sure that your arms are lined up with your shoulders. Externally rotate your front thigh. Get a nice opening. Make sure your knee is still staying over your ankle. Tuck your front tailbone under as you press your back leg to straight. Lift up through the four sides of your waist. Soften your front ribs in as you broaden through your shoulder blades. Reach through your fingertips. Take your front forearm to your front thigh. Shift your hips back and bring your back arm overhead for Parvo Konasana. Use your forearm to press up and reach up through the tops of your hands. Send your top shoulder blade onto your back, broadening your collarbones. Tuck your front butt cheek under you. Straighten your back leg. Inhale and exhale. Keep inhaling to lengthen through your fingertips. Exhale, broaden through your chest. Exhale, hands down to frame either side of your foot. Pivot to your back toes. Step your front leg to plank. Exhale, chaturanga halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your side. Check to make sure that your feet are still hip distance apart and parallel. Sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Internally rotate your right leg, bringing your knees together and your right heel out. Keeping that internal rotation, lift your right leg up and over your left leg, bringing your toes either to your shin, to your calf, or wrapping them around your calf. Any expression of this works, whatever feels good in your body. Keep sending your hips back as you sit down into that chair and squeezing your legs to the midline. Bring your hands to the side. Cross your left arm under your right arm and bring your hands to your shoulders. Or squeezing your elbows together, bring the backs of your hands together, or continue wrapping and bring your palms together for eagle pose. Send your inner thighs down towards the floor as you lengthen your sitting bone down. Soften your front ribs in as you reach your elbows towards the front of your mat. Keep reaching your fingertips up. Sit down into that chair. Squeeze everything to the midline. It's okay if you wobble. Keep squeezing your knees together as you unwrap your leg. Keep squeezing those legs. Just keep a soft bend in your front knee as you step all the way back into high lunge. Unwrap your arms. Check to make sure your feet are hip distance and parallel. Press your front knee to a square, lining your knee over your ankle. Bend your back knee as you scoop your tailbone under. Soften your front ribs in and broaden through your collarbone. Begin to straighten your back leg as much as you can, pressing your front knee to a square. On your next inhale, bring your arms straight up overhead. Soften your front ribs in and broaden through your collarbone. If you have any tightness in your shoulders, you may want to bring your arms a little bit forward so that you're not going into a back bend here. Press down through your feet as you reach up through your fingertips. On your next exhale, bring your hands down to frame your foot. Drop your back knee. Go ahead and step your back knee back slightly And straighten your front leg as you walk your hands on either side of your knee. You might need to shift your heel forward a little bit. Make sure that your hips are in line with one another. Squeeze your legs to the midline. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold over your front foot. Keep inhaling and lengthening your chest forward as you send your hips towards the back of your mat. Press through the big toe mound of your front foot as you send your left hip back, keeping it in line with your right hip. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, let it go and fold over. You should be feeling a great release in your hamstring. Make sure that you're not locking your knee. Go ahead and leave a slight bend in your knee. Walk your hands forward and bring your knee back to a square. You might need to shimmy your foot back a little bit. Plant your hands and then step back into plank. Bring your left hand towards the center of your mat. Roll onto the outside of your left foot. If you need a little extra support here, feel free to bring your knee down for a modified version of Vasisthasana or side plank. If you're doing the full version, stack your feet. When you're ready, raise your right arm towards the sky, opening your collarbones. Squeeze your legs together. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Broaden through your collarbones. Push down through your hand. Reach through your fingertips. Lift up through your waist. Don't forget to breathe. Exhale, bring your top hand down and engage your core as you come back into plank. Lower all the way down for a much needed break. Now that we're on our stomachs, take your hands to your side. Go ahead and lift one leg at a time to make sure that our legs are hip distance and parallel. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Roll your inner thighs up towards the sky as you lengthen your tailbone down. You should get a nice lift in your lower belly. On your next inhale, begin to shine your heart forward as you lift your chest off the ground. Inhale, keep taking little sips of air. And your inhales continue to shine your heart forward. Reaching your fingers back, pressing the tops of your feet into the ground, keeping your neck nice and long. Lengthen and lift. Exhale, let it all go. We'll try that one more time with the full version of Salabhasana or Locust. And when I say full version, it doesn't really mean anything. Feel free to continue with what we were doing if that feels good in your body today. But listen to your body as you move through these asanas. Bring your hands down by your side. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your back. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Send your inner thighs towards the sky as you send your tailbone towards your heels. Engage your lower belly. Inhale to lift. Shine your heart forward. Lift your feet. Keep inhaling to lengthen and shine your heart forward, keeping your chest broad. Reach through your toes as you lift them off the ground. Reach through your hands. And exhale all the way down. And let it all go. Tuck your toes. Come up through tabletop. Walk your hands back so that you're seated on your heels. Sit up tall and go ahead and come up onto your knees. Take your right arm up and over onto your back pockets. Same with your left arm, up and over and onto your back pockets. Inhale and puff up your chest. Bring your shoulder blades together. Engage your glutes and slowly begin to lean back into a nice back bend of Ustrasana or camel pose. Keep squeezing your elbows together and lifting your heart. Think of a string, lifting your heart towards the sky. Take little puffs of air as you continue reaching up with your heart. Exhale, go ahead and sit back down onto your heels. This suppresses your adrenal glands, so you may feel a little bit of dizziness. Feel free to take child's pose at any point. We'll try that one more time. And if you'd like to join me in the full expression of the pose, please feel free to. Come back up on your knees. Bring your arms behind you one at a time onto your back pockets. Squeeze your elbows together. Inhale and lengthen through your chest. Keep your collarbones broad as you begin to lean back. If you are ready, take one hand to your heel, your right hand to your right heel, and your left hand to your left heel. Keep squeezing your legs to the midline. Engage your glutes. Shine your heart up like it's being pulled towards the sky. If you're ready, you can drop your head back. Little puffs of air as you squeeze your legs to the midline. Engaging your core, engaging your glutes to protect your lower back. Take your left hand to your lower back, your right hand to your lower back, and come out of the pose. Bring the tops of your feet down, widen your knees, send your hands forward into child's pose for a much needed rest. Again, you may feel a little bit of dizziness or tingliness. Just go ahead and breathe through that sensation. Enjoy that feeling. And let that all go. Let your bottom be heavy on your heels. You can even bring your hands to your side if that feels good, or out in front of you, or underneath your head. Begin to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Slowly walk yourself back up and take a seat in the middle of your mat. And very slowly roll yourself all the way down onto your back. For Savasana. Take your feet about mat distance, let your feet flop open, take your arms to your side, palms facing up to receive energy, or your palms facing down for more grounding. Let everything go. Let everything that you just did on the mat stay on the mat. Begin to fully relax. No need to control your breath or your body. Just letting yourself sink into this most important asana of our practice. This is where all that work we did integrates into our body. And we just get to let go. And relax. If you're able to stay in Savasana, please do so. If you're ready to come out of this restorative pose, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Might feel good to reach through your fingers and down your toes like a nice good morning stretch. Go ahead and roll onto your right side using your arm as a pillow. When you're ready, use your left hand to help push you up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you for joining me on this practice. Namaste.